Well, hello and welcome back to Middle Age Moto. I am out a different time than I normally ride, and I guess I'm testing out the finally seeing how hot this thing runs. It's 87 degrees, high humidity today. It's midday. It's almost 20 after 12, and it's definitely warm. I got my mesh jacket on to try to cool down, but if you haven't seen it in another video, I ride with Kevlar lined jeans, so they are pretty insulated, if you would. But this is going to kind of be a combination video. I want to update everyone. I've run into a little snag on my first service, and made a decision to how to rectify that. And I want to talk a little bit about the heat, and maybe if someone is out there that's experiencing or it's bothering them worse than it bothers me, there's a new fix either on the way or already out. It's been produced. It's just a point of going into that. So let's start off with the heat. Like I said, it's 87 degrees. The humidity is really high. I started my bike at the end of my driveway while I got the rest of my gear on, just to kind of let it warm up. And when I got on it, I definitely could feel a lot of heat on my butt itself. The seat was really warm. The best thing I can compare it to is if you have heat warmers in your car, it's probably two times, maybe 3 times warmer. With the pants that I have and the fluff in my ass, because I'm not a skinny guy, and it kind of pats me. It doesn't really do anything with the heat, but I just figured I'd throw that in there. It's definitely tolerable. It's not bad. I've been riding now, about 6 miles, and there's a lot of complaints on the Panigale, and I've heard some on the Streetfighter, but not too many. It's pretty much the same setup, though, that there's raging heat that comes out and hits you in your thighs, and I just don't feel that. I'm just not getting it. Maybe it's the riding pants, or the Kevlar pants are diffusing it. I really don't even feel any really warmth. I could feel some warmth under my butt, but that is it. It's far from intolerable for me. So I really don't know. This does have, it is set up so that at idle, the rear cylinders shut off, they deactivate to prevent heat. Because from what I understand, the exhaust comes right under the seat, but a lot of the heat is because it's a V4 with 2 up and 2 back. The 2 rear cylinders are facing right under the seat area, right under your crotch. So that's what the best understanding that I have of it. But to be honest with you, it's extremely tolerable. Now it is only 87. I'm sure if you were in an area, or when here in Alabama, it gets up into the high 90s, 100 sometimes. Humidity gets pretty outrageous, but the seat is definitely warmer than my Monster. And what was weird is the Monster exhaust, if you've noticed, on my 2018 Monster S, the exhaust is right by your right leg. It bends all up right by your leg, and I personally never felt anything. So maybe it's just these pants that is really insulating me from the heat. I don't know, but nothing to be alarmed, as far as I'm concerned. I'm on some forums on Facebook, and some of the people on there have expressed that it's unbearable for them. I think maybe your climate, their area may play a part in it, but I don't really feel anything. That's my first impression, other than a little bit of warmth. So I'm good there. I called my dealer. I had mentioned that I'm ready for my service. My service light is on. I'm a pretty diligent guy with these bikes. My Ducatis is taking them to the dealer and paying the cheese and getting them done. It's just I spent a lot of money on the bikes. I just want to make sure that it's done right. While I'm thinking of it, in the past, like most of my bikes, 90%, I would go for the first service to the dealer, but I would do all the other services myself. And I think my R1's, the service was a lot less expensive than it is for the Monster. So it's really not a money thing. But my dealer, you know, my dealer is an hour and a half away. So it's not, you know, around the corner where I can just go have someone follow me. So if you know, I got to get service done, that was not smart. So if I got to have service done, I go, usually go up on a Saturday morning. And if you get there when they open, it's a first come, first serve basis. So if I ride up, leave my house at 7, get there about 8:30 in the morning, I'm good to go. You know, I'm ready to rock and roll. And they usually knock it out in a couple hours. Well, the dealership has been extremely busy, which is not a bad thing. You know, I'm excited for them. In no way, you know, with this, you know, conversation, am I trying to badmouth my dealership. You know, I understand, you know, is it kind of frustrating that you buy a brand new bike and you got to come in for your first service and now you can't just first come? So technically what they want me to do, because they're closed Sundays and Mondays, they want me to bring the bike up on a Tuesday, drop the bike off, and then come pick it up either that following weekend. They'll try to get it done by the weekend, the following weekend, or sometime that next week. So for my first oil change, I'm looking at about a week's time. So being an hour and a half away, it means I'm renting a trailer, because I don't own my own trailer. I just go to U-Haul. It's cheap for the trailer, but it's still, I got to get a trailer. I got to put the bike on the trailer, take the bike up to the dealership, drop it off, come back, return the trailer, and then do that all over again the following week. Now, the problem is I work during the week. Now, I'm working from my home office, but I'm still working. You know, my phone rings. I got people I'm working with on a regular basis. So, you know, technically what I have to do is take a day and hope that, you know, a day off, or at least a half a day, and take the bike to the dealership, or, you know, I pretty much have to. Sorry for the breakup there if the video didn't mesh the way I really wanted it to. I kind of paused when I was sitting at the light. I just wanted to kind of see what the heat was going to be like and kind of concentrate on that rather than concentrate on what I was saying. So back to the dealership. So in order to, I'm basically renting a trailer twice, and it's just an inconvenience going back and forth. So it makes a simple process. I was just going to ride up and do a long run out thing for an oil change. So long story short, I always tend to make these windy as hell anyways, but I'm going to give it an attempt. And this is something, I'm not saying that I suggest people do this or anything like that. It's just what the decision that I made. I'm going to do my first service myself. Now, I can't shut the light off, the service light, because it's, as far as I know, you either need a real expensive scanner. I've heard there's other, you know, $3,000 or $4,000 scanners, automotive scanners that are able to do it, or you got to go to the dealer. So I've ordered the kits. There's a kit that comes. The Streetfighter has a internal oil filter. It's not the screw-on. It's a push-on, and it's got a little housing. So I've seen what it takes to do that. It just seems like, you know, a simple oil change on the bike. They check over all the torque settings, and they basically adjust your clean and adjust your chain. Well, I adjusted and cleaned my chain last week. I've got the, you know, the spanner wrench that I need for that, and torque settings and all that. And I'm going to knock out the oil change myself, and I'll walk through and make sure the nuts and bolts are tight. What I may do, the oil changes are once a year or every 7,000 or 8,000 miles. I'm drawing a blank on the exact number. I'll throw it up on the screen. And I knew usually I get my first service done at the dealership just to let them go through the bike, which I really like because it gives me kind of peace of mind. My major concern was I was worrying about a warranty. And I've asked around and I talked to some different people. It's some people that I really trust. I looked through the owner's manual or the warranty manual. It's recommended that you take it to the dealership, and they told me to just keep a paper trail like I've done with any of my other Japanese bikes. So I've ordered the oil. When you get the oil, the housing that the oil filter goes into has 2 small O-rings on it to prevent oil from leaking out, and then it comes with a new crush washer too. So that way I can knock the oil change out, get it done, put some fresh oil in it. And what I was thinking of doing is maybe in 3,000 or 4,000 miles, or maybe even this fall, just take it up for an annual early, and just change it up. Because I normally, with my Monster, I follow the regiment, and I'm considering with this bike, I know that Ducati engineers know better than we do, but I've always been a big proponent of changing oil. And to be honest with you, the whole kit was like 95 bucks for the synthetic oil that Ducati recommends. I believe it's a Shell oil, and the filter, crush washer, and the O-rings. So and they take it up and just have them go through it at that point just to get it on the records. I almost said, well, I'm just going to keep this bike forever and I won't have to worry about it. This is just going to be my new blaster. And I said that same damn thing about the Monster, that it didn't need anything more and all that. So I'm going to keep selling this in the back of my mind, because a couple years from now, Lord knows what's going to be out and what I'm going to want to do. So if you will want me to record the oil change and the process, drop a comment and I will. I got a comment from one of the viewers asking me to videotape my process changing out the radiator guards. So I'm definitely thinking about just throwing the camera on the floor doing that, on a tripod, and maybe knock that out too and do a video on it. There is a really good video online, but everybody does things a little bit different, and I'm technically going to be following his video. So what I may do also is just add a link to this video for the radiator guard video, and comment in the comments if you still want me to do another video. I think this is pretty thorough, but let me know if you want me to do my oil change on video. There's a little trick that they teach where you got to get 3 bolts, because the housing where the oil filter goes doesn't just come off. You got to kind of ratchet it off, and there's some tricks, and Ducati thought about it before when they designed it. So that was pretty cool. I found that doing some reading and stuff like that. But with that, I'm going to continue and enjoy my ride, and I hope everybody's doing well. The channel's growing little by little each day, which is great to see. I think I'm up to 60 subscribers, which, wow, I went for the first 8 months with 5 or 6 or maybe 8. So it's definitely growing. People are definitely more interested in the Streetfighter. I'm just kind of an amateur guy that's got a little bit of a mechanical background when it comes to cars, and I'm tinkering with my bike, and I'm going to put all my mods on hopefully tomorrow, and because it's going to rain, so I'm going to start ripping stuff apart, getting that set up. My oil and everything should be here next Tuesday, so I'll do that oil change maybe during the week, or I might just wait till the following weekend and get the oil in it, and then I'm going to give it a good washing, and then I was thinking of waxing or doing something, some sort of paint sealing. So that's number 2. If you got this far into the video, give me some advice on what you guys or gals use. Some of the newer technology stuff. My fast car days are over where I used to wax. I throw a cheap turtle wax on my truck and rock and roll when I get it. And probably never wax the damn thing again. It's pretty much dirty all the time. So thank you all for watching. I hope this didn't get too windy for you. It looks like people are watching my videos for about 4 minutes on average, so I'm definitely babbling along a little bit, but I'm sure a few of you get to the end. And we'll talk to you all on the next video. Thank you so much.